Hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Ify Space. Yeah, it's my space. I'm outside today. It's a sunny day today in Malta. Like, it's winter, it's cold. I mean, yeah, it is cold, I would say. However, the sun is out there, and that's the beauty, right, about living in Malta. Okay, so today I have great news. I'm sure some of you already kind of know, you've seen it on the news over the past week, and this is that's a sequel to my last video actually. Like, I was shocked when I saw this on the news, and I'm like, whoa, I am so super excited because trust me, last week's video when I talked about 10-day exit criteria for all third country nationals when you lose your job, that was me really downplaying it working in Malta. Trust me, it's been a hassle for those, especially those who are still on single permit status. If you have blue card or you have long term, oh, that one you'll be living like a king. However, if you're on single permit status, it's almost as if you are standing on one leg. Like, you are not fully settled per se because one can just lose his or her job, and aside that, like even being treated in I've been hearing lots of stories. I've never encountered any, even when I was on single permit status. However, it is really hard sometimes, working in Malta. Well, so I'll just be going through some of these policies. There are quite a number of policies. However, the one that, yes, I can say, yes, this is actually in the right direction. I'll be talking about that as well. And then at the end of this video too, I will be dropping, there'll be a link somewhere on the description of this video where you can actually lend in your voice, and pretty much no, it's not sign really, just give your feedback based off the policy. The policy is not live yet, however we'll have until February 9th to for them to review again and then publicize and implement this. So it is very important. See, you don't have to even, I don't think you have to even be living in Malta because there was no ID card mentioned there. So just go on there and lend in your voice, things that you would like to see change. Trust me, in Malta they actually do this thing. Because for me to see this, I was really shocked because it was almost as if this 10-day and employers were taking advantage of it a great deal. Number one that I would like to announce to y'all is that the current grace period of 10 days is now being reviewed to up to 60 days actually. Like, that is great news. Give it up for Malta. I mean, it used to be 10 days. When you lose your job, you need to find a job within 10 days. You need to have gotten a new job, they would have registered you, and then the application will be ongoing at least 10 days. That was crazy. But now it is 30 days standard for sure. Then it can be extended by another 30 days if you can show proof of sufficiency, like that you can take care of yourself or something within that period. But 2 months basically, that's a lot of time to find a new job. So that's one very good change in the right direction. Right, that's one very good policy. Another policy is that for any employer that just feel like, oh, they can just hire a non-EU just because, oh, they are foreigners, you can just fire them at will. You will be sanctioned now. Yes, I know employers will not like this because before they just kind of, especially all these local employers, I'm sorry to say, yeah, well, foreign employers even they behave the same way sometimes. Some very, let's say nonchalant employers. But basically, if you're an employer and you just feel like, okay, you can fire people at will and then the next week you're employing somebody else, no. Small companies that have 10 to 49 employees would not be allowed to hire new workers if 50 or more percent of their third country national workers leave or are fired in the previous 12 months. So what that means is that somehow, as an employer, you need to be able to retain your employees. And so that means maybe better pay, yeah, or better working conditions. I don't know how you're going to do it, but now you have to keep them. For medium-sized company from 51 to 249 people, it's 40%. So if 40% of, so that's even better in a way. Anyway, it's a larger company, and then if you have 250 or more people in your company, that's 35%. An employer who fires a worker due to a loss of business will not be able to hire another worker in that same position for the following 12 months. It is what it is. Basically, now employers will have to see how, like I said before, they will just retain foreigners if they want foreigners to work for them. Because trust me, I think the government kind of already saw that a large population of Maltese I mean, a large population of the workforce in Malta are actually foreigners. I think over 30% or almost, I think, yeah, over 30% are foreigners. So thirdly, now, when you are applying for your single permit application, you can apply for 2 years actually. Initially, it used to just be 1 year. Now you can apply for 2 years. So actually, to be honest, there are some, depending on the role, I think, and some firms, before you could do, or after the first initial application, you could actually do up to 3 years. So, but now I think it's not a standard, regardless of position, company size, and the likes. You can actually apply for 2 years. Although that means that you're tied to that company for 2 years, because remember, it's still a single permit application, meaning you're tied to that particular firm. If you have to look for another job, it means you need to change ID and all of that. So it has now been extended to 2 years. There are a lot of policies that were mentioned, but I feel like these are the ones that would really benefit foreigners. There is an increase though in the single permit application fee. It used to be €300, now it is 600. However, when you are renewing, it is half the price. So I think when you are renewing, it's now 150. So that is one of the policies. There's also the policy actually that before you even get employed, you need to have learned the Maltese culture, because of course, if you're coming to a country, it's an opportunity. It might be free, I don't even know, or it might be, I mean, there might be now um organizations that will be offering this course at a fee or whatever. I really do not know, but it's also good. I mean, if you look at it, it's a win-win really, even though yes, it's like an extra requirement that wasn't there before. There's also another policy where salaries will no longer be paid via cash. It has to be paid via bank transfer. Yes. I was, when I saw this policy, I was actually shocked. I was like, okay, so some people are actually receiving salaries via cash. Yeah, I'm sure, especially like small firms, or maybe if it's a very low role. I would say that's a good thing for foreigners, in the sense that at least you can. There was a recently I was asking someone to provide proof of funds, and the person was like, oh, salaries are only being paid to her via cash. So she has no proof at all. So in case you want to apply for proof of fund, or you want to submit your statement for one thing or the other, you do not have anything to show for it, and that's not a good thing. So this is a good step towards the right direction, that yes, at least you can now it is now compulsory that salaries are paid via bank transfer. So there are a couple of other policies and all, but I feel like generally, especially the fact that you can now have up to 60 days period to stay in the country and you do not have to leave. Like I said, this is one of the reasons why there were a lot of people that left Malta last year, even those that were not fired. The fear of, okay, I don't want to be standing on one feet. One thing to note though is that I feel like these policies would also kind of reduce the number of foreigners that can work in specific companies, because now I think there's a compulsory, I mean, each company, I mean, each firm, depending on their size, if they are small, medium, or large, they need to have a minimum percentage of, or number of Maltese or EU workers before you can. Okay, so for example, you can't be having maybe 80% foreigners in your firm. Micro firms, that those that have up to 9 people, must first employ 2 full-time Maltese or EU nationals before hiring third country nationals. Small firms up to 50 people must employ 4. Medium firms must employ up to 20. And then larger firms, that's those within 250, from 250 workers and above, must employ 40 workers. Basically, in general, there are 32 measures actually that was in the policy document. Like I said, they are still being reviewed. There might be updates, there might be changes, modifications, or removals, or whatever it is, but lend your voice. And just to clear the air as well, there are some firms, right? There are some multinational firms that actually do appreciate foreign workers. Like, they go all out to bring in employees from third countries, I mean, Africa and the likes. So these companies, I know that I know some personally that, in fact, they even want citizenship to start, I mean, to be given, because they realize that, oh, many people leave most of the time. They leave also because citizenship isn't being granted. So let's say they are pro these kind of laws, right? Then there are the other companies that like to just take advantage of foreign workers. I'll put the link below. Please go on there, just write out your feedback, and it could be anonymous if you want, and submit. Let's lend our voices out there, because trust me, they actually do hear. Otherwise, all of this that we're saying would not even be I mean, it was just last week I was talking to you about the the disadvantages of the 10-day criteria and all to leave the country when you lose your job. So we're hoping that things will keep getting better and Malta will be that dream destination to come to. By the way, guys, June July intake is already open. If you are looking to study in Malta, be it for your bachelor's degree or your master's degree, do reach out to me. June July intake is already out, ongoing. Application has started already. This is January, so do not wait till the last minute and then start rushing and all. So just reach out to me via email. I'll put my email up here if you're looking to study in Malta, if you're looking to study in this country that keeps, improving and getting better by God's grace. Thank you and see you in my next video.